Hi everyone, welcome to Chemistry Alive video lessons episode 3. Today we're going to explore more about chemical bonding here. There are usually 6 common types of questions that will be tested in exams. The first is account for the melting point and boiling point of compounds. 2. Draw a dot and cross diagram. 3. Account for the solubility of compounds in water. 4. Questions pertaining to dative covalent bond. 5th, hybridizations, and last but not least, explain physical properties of compounds. Students always find it difficult to answer the questions pertaining to melting point and boiling point of compounds and often find themselves wasting a good 10 minutes on such questions. So today we're going to tackle that and we're going to explore and learn very simple and highly effective strategy to solve such questions in 30 seconds. Alright, let's take for example this question here. Explain why sodium chloride has a higher melting point than phosphorus chloride. So first step will be don't be so quick to craft out answers. Instead, have a rather thought out thought process, and it can include things like, for example, look out for keywords such as melting point and higher. So let me first circle that. Right, higher and melting point here. So number 2, when something melts, what have to be broken first? Bonds, of course. So since sodium chloride has a higher melting point, it implies that the bonds to be broken for sodium chloride must be stronger compared to that of phosphorus chloride. So now the question is, but why is the bond stronger? So to answer that, we need to refer to my one-page summary map. This is an extract of my one-page summary map for chemical bonding. So let's zoom into the 2 compounds in the questions. So we have sodium chloride here and phosphorus chloride. So let's deal with sodium chloride first. So sodium chloride itself has a giant ionic structure, and for the bond broken is a strong bond, electrostatic attractions between cations and anions. Alright, moving on to phosphorus chloride. For phosphorus chloride, all of us we do understand that it cannot be a metal itself. So there's only 2 choices. Either phosphorus chloride has a giant covalent structure or it has a simple molecular structure. So for most school, your teachers would have tell you that there's only a certain type or rather certain example that can fall under giant covalent structure. They are diamond, graphite, silicon dioxide. Meaning as long as the compound given does not fall under this specific example, then it will be simple molecular structure. Indeed, phosphorus chloride has a simple molecular structure here. So I'll circle this. Alright, so for the type of bond that is overcome during melting or boiling for phosphorus chloride, it is not the strong covalent bonds that is broken, but rather the weak intermolecular forces between the molecules. So after organizing our thought process, we realized that we can come up with 4 very simple steps that you can use it to answer such melting point and boiling point questions in 30 seconds. So let's explore. Step 1, you comment about the type of questions, structure. Step 2, type of bond overcome. Step 3, you compare the strength of the bond. And last but not least, you comment and compare the amount of energy required to overcome such bond. Now, using these 4 simple steps, let's see how we can use these 4 simple steps to answer these questions here. Right, so step 1, type of structure. So for sodium chloride, it has a giant ionic structure, whereas for phosphorus chloride, it has a simple molecular structure. 2, type of bond overcome. Sodium chloride will be your ionic bond between the sodium cation and chloride ions. Phosphorus chloride will be the intermolecular forces between the molecules itself. 3, the strength of the bond. Sodium chloride strong versus weak in phosphorus chloride. Last but not least, amount of energy required to overcome the bond. For sodium chloride, being a strong bond, you require greater amount of energy, whereas for phosphorus chloride, because the intermolecular forces is weak, so you just need smaller amount of energy required. Putting all these informations into sentence, we thus have sodium chloride has a giant ionic structure, while phosphorus chloride has a simple molecular structure. More energy is required to overcome the strong ionic bonds between the oppositely charged ions than the weak intermolecular forces between phosphorus chloride molecules. As you can see here, this is 2-mark questions and we mark by ticks. So if you have 4 ticks, meaning 4 informations here, then you will get the full marks, and you get the full marks of 2 marks here. Alright, so for such 2-mark questions, the maximum time that you can spend is just 3 minutes. Alright, so by using these 4 simple steps here, you can actually solve such boiling point multiple questions in 30 seconds. Alright, let's recap what we have just learned. So, to answer such melting and boiling point questions, we have these 4 simple steps that enable you to answer such questions in 30 seconds. They are: step 1, type of structure; step 2, the bond overcome; step 3, the strength of the bond; step 4, compare amount of energy required to overcome the bond. So for more tips on solving A-level chemistry questions, do visit me at www.edualivegroup.com.chemistry-alive/.
Made with Doodlecast Pro.